Hey.
So I stole the wine from Sigismund's storehouse, as you asked.
Splendid. And what are you going to do with it?
Here you go. And I want the half you promised me.
Don't worry. I've got the groschen saved for you. Here they are.
Thank you.
No, thank you, brother. Thank you. Farewell. Hey.
Chenyak wants me to do something.
What does he want this time? That idiot would be better off finding himself a woman instead of thinking up damn fool shit. Let me guess. It's something real important that'll help us in our noble cause.
I'm supposed to keep an eye on Hogg, who went to find out the meaning of the old thieves' symbols around Kuttenberg.
And what do you think about it? Are you gonna help him?
I think so. It could help in our fight against Sigismund.
I guarantee you Sigismund don't give a fuck about no scribbles on houses. This is just a missed opportunity for us to line our purses.
You think so?
Look here, friend. If you find out something about them symbols, tell me. And I mean only me. I promise you, we'll make a fortune out of it. They ain't just any old symbols. They're thieves' symbols, see? Help me out, and you won't regret it.
I'll have to think about it.
Don't wear your brain out. There ain't nothing to think over. When you find out more about them symbols, you know where to find me. Farewell, sir.
Good day to you.
Do you still feel like fighting?
If I get something out of it.
How about a fight?
Have you got some money?
I do. Here you go.
Good lad. So, defend yourself. Thanks. Ha! Ha! Kurva! Eh? Fuck that! I got you like a blooded pig!
Jesus Christ be praised.
My word! Why the hell are you naked, lad?
I'd like to learn something.
What do you want to know?
I hope you can tell me how to use a mace.
Thanks. I'll teach you one trick.
My way today.
Good day.
Are you going to the market?
You were fucking lucky.
Are you sure it was luck?
Absolutely. Here, take this and get out of my sight.
Have a nice day, Henry.
put it? Greetings, sir. What would you like?
I'm Henry, a new member of the guild.
I'm Rat. That's what they call me. My nimble fingers can deal with any lock. Me and Hog, we're the main workforce in the guild. Hog is my best friend.
Chenyek said you might have some work on the side for me.
Sure. You did a pretty good job last time. I'll give you that. So, I think you can be trusted.
So, do you have something?
You know the rules. If I tell you about it, you can't back out.
I know how it is. I'll do it.
Good. But there's a catch. It's not dangerous, it's just not for the faint of heart. You see, a certain mine owner recently kicked the bucket, and we need to bring him back to life. That Hanneman rot may have been a cunt, but he sure was rich, and above all, childless. So, by law, the church, the city, and that Hungarian whoreson Sigismund will all get a share of his property.
And what do you want me to do?
Fortunately, Rot was vain enough to be buried in a tomb with his rings, and more importantly, his seal. Now do you get it?
Ah, I understand. The guild could use the seal to conclude a few interesting binding contracts, eh?
Most astute. Exactly so. Bring me the seal, and whatever else you find on the way is yours. Corpses can always be difficult, so if you want any good luck charms, just say so.
Where is the dead mine owner's tomb?
Right in the Sedlet's graveyard in the underground ossuary. Just look for a freshly bricked hole in the wall. It might be marked with something.
How do I get to the underground ossuary?
That's the hard part. But maybe one of the monks that take care of the ossuary will help you. There's always one nearby. You just have to figure out how to approach him.
What does the seal look like?
Nothing special. Just a bronze seal on a neck chain.
Good. Now I know everything.
So, break a leg, brother.
Tell me more about these thieves' charms.
One couldn't get by without them in our profession. You can usually buy them cheap from an executioner or knacker, since they're the only ones who can cut into corpses. Fingers, hair, veins, teeth, and fingernails. They're all good if you want to be lucky and not get caught red-handed.
Do you have one of those thieves' charms for good luck?
Naturally. Tried and true. Yours for a few groschen.
Fine. I'll buy it.
By all means. Here it is. May it serve you well.
Tell me about yourself. Where did you come from? What are you doing here?
I'm doing what I've always done. I'm stealing. But now, I'm doing it for a higher purpose. Because I only steal from the enemies of the Kingdom of Bohemia.
Have you ever thought about finding more honest work?
And let others rob me blind on my earnings? Thanks, friend. I think I'll stick with stealing.
What do you have for sale? A word about the price. Satisfied?
You really won't convince me like this. You see? I knew we'd come to an agreement.
A tankard of ale, thanks.
What would you say to another fight?
Why not? At least I'll stretch these old bones.
Do you want to fight?
I could use a drink first. Find me something, would you?
Would you like something with a bit of a kick?
Me? Always.
Here's something to drink. Enjoy.
I was pretty damn thirsty. Bottoms up!
Another drink for your other leg.
You're a fella I don't meet every day. Gloria!
Well, how about that fight?
Absolutely.
Do you want to fight?
Have you got coin?
I do. Here you go.
Excellent. Let's start the show. Time. Too slow. 2-on-1. What kind of shit? Ha! Fuck you! Fucking hell! You call that a... Two-on-1? I'm wounded! Cheers. Still believe... Fuck you! No chance!
We want to see
You-
some blood!
Take that! Two-on-1?
His guts out!
What kind of shit is that?
Turn your head backwards!
Take him down! Take him down!
Go fuck yourself! Come on then!
Kick his teeth
Cheers.
on the other side of his face!
Take
Get
it
a
down!
move on, you
Take
Neil.
it down!
Kick his teeth out the outside of his way.
Take him down!
Beat him in a fight.
Take him down!
Sakura! You're fast!
You would be too if you weren't hammered.
Ah, you sound just like my old woman. But fortunately, she never beat me in a fight. This is yours. Here.
Lord be with you.
Nice and slow.
empty pockets. A whole lot of
Sure,
gossip.
nobody finds out.
Big city. There's no place like it.
That's good. The town's...
My God, what now?
You said you needed some help with something. What's going on?
Something's happened. Oh, a real mess. And I need help from someone reliable.
What is it?
When I was fishing around for information about Liechtenstein, I cast the net a bit too wide. And one of the servant girls I questioned was just found dead.
You think she was killed because of you?
I don't know. If I did, I wouldn't be asking you for help.
I'll help you. Tell me all about it. Who was this dead girl?
Her name was Alice. She was an ordinary, pretty girl. She worked as a maid. I heard they found her all hacked up, tossed somewhere by the town wall. Oh, folk in town are saying it was absolute slaughter. They took the body to the morgue by the St. Peter and St. Paul cemetery.
I'll go take a look at her. See if I can find anything.
I think that would be for the best. Though, I don't think it'll be a very pretty sight. You can ask the gravedigger for details. He'll know the most.
When did you last see the girl?
Around a week ago?
And did you notice anything suspicious about her?
Not at all. She was always cheerful, lively. She was looking forward to a dance. Though I'm afraid she won't be dancing ever again.
What was Alice trying to find out for you?
She always brought me the freshest gossip overheard from her master. And lately, what the other maids in town were saying.
And did you learn anything important from her? Something someone would kill her for?
That's the thing. All she brought me was gossip. Who was cheating on who wasn't going to confession, those sorts of things. So you'll have to figure out the rest for yourself.
Do you think there could be something bigger behind the murder?
I don't know. Maybe she just got caught up in something. But it's strange. Why would someone do her like that? That's the kind of thing you do when you want to send someone a message.
What about your other girls? Are they all right?
Yes, fortunately. I'm careful enough to keep them pretty much in the dark about my plans. That's why Alice's death shocked me so much.
What are you going to do next?
I'd like to ask the others if they noticed anything suspicious. If someone is following them and the like, but...
But you don't want to scare them?
I'm scared myself. For them. Maybe nobody knows about them yet. If someone was to follow me, I could give them away. And I can't risk that. I don't want anyone else to die because of me.
What if I go and see them?
They don't know you, Henry. You'd only scare them. I'll figure something out. In the meantime, find out everything you can about Alice.
Why did you ask me in particular for help?
Because you're the only one I know here.
Aha.
But don't take it the wrong way. I'm actually glad it's you. You're pretty reliable. Not even Zhishka would be of much help to me here.
Aha. Thanks. I know everything I need.
Good. Go to that graveyard, talk to the gravedigger, and take a look at that poor girl's body. In the meantime, I'll try to find out more. Then we'll put it all together, and I'll be damned if we can't come up with something.
What happened at Nebakov after the Praguers took the fortress?
You're asking me?
No, of course. I know you weren't there, but maybe you heard something. You know what goes on, right? I only remember that diabolical shot. Nothing after that.
That must have been really terrible. I heard the shot all the way from Troskowitz. I'm afraid all I know is when they took the fortress, von Aulitz's men hanged everyone they found there. I'm sorry, but most of ours got left behind there.
There was this healer called Clara there.
A girl of yours?
Maybe. She was Really kind to me. Oh, my God.
Wait. Maybe she managed to save herself? Nobody would hang a young girl like that, would they? Oh, sorry. I shouldn't have said that.
Don't apologize. It's not your fault.
You have to live every day like it's going to be your last. That's all you can do in our trade.
Do you know if Michael, the adjutant, survived?
I'm afraid I do know. Zhishka said the shot killed him on the spot.
Did you know him?
Aye. He was a good man. He saved my life once.
I didn't know that. Do you want to talk about it?
Not now, thanks. Some other time, maybe.
Thank you. That's all.
I'm sorry I can't tell you more.
No, that's all right. Thanks. I want to ask about a few more things.
But of course, ask away.
I know all there is to know. I'm going to that graveyard.
A wolf like that must cost as much as a farm.
Slowly. Nice and slow.
Greetings to you, friend.
What is it you need? Careful.
Oh, it's just you, eh?
How did it go? I went to see him, but he threw me out. And you're surprised? It's understanding. Call it misunderstanding. You made a fool of yourself.
Gepriesen sei der Herr.
So, how are you settling in?
Alles ist gut, Heinrich. People here have grown accustomed, it seems. Even that matter with Emmeram, I think, settled. Aber ein Ding I must still do.
I'd like to help you. What do you need?
Emmeram still has the fencing sword. Und we need it zurück. You admit, without the sword, this house does not look so good.
And you're afraid to go and see him yourself?
Me? Afraid? It's rather unpleasant. Couldn't you stop by there for the sword? Ich werde dich bezahlen.
Well, fine. I'll do it. Looking for lost swords is kind of my specialty.
Wunderbar, Heinrich. And give my greetings to Emmeram. We don't need to argue immer wäre, no?
I will. But I can't guarantee he won't send us both to hell.
You must have faith, Heinrich.
I want to enter that tournament you mentioned.
Great decision, Heinrich. You will not regret it. Als erstes, let me explain the rules so you know what to do.
Right. Make it quick.
We have 3 Disziplinen. Die erste, Sword and Shield Combat. Then gibt es noch Longsword Combat. Schwertkampf is done in light armor. You will get all the equipment you need for the tournament, including weapons. Keine Sorge. You must use it during the duels and return it to us at the end, yeah?
Of course I'll return what I borrow. But what if I want to use my own gear? Can't I do that?
Not in the sword disciplines. Everyone uses the same equipment, so that only skill is the deciding factor. But in free combat, the last discipline, everyone uses their own weapons and armor. I recommend heavy plate armor if you have some. You can participate in all discipline or just some. It is up to you. Every entry costs some Geld. And behave during the tournament, yeah? No funny business. And follow the instructions you are given.
How many fights will there be?
You'll face an opponent and fight until someone has 2 wins. They will then move on to the finals. There, the first one to get 2 wins is the victor of the entire discipline.
What if I get my arse kicked?
Then you will make a fool of yourself. But if that happens, a bathmaid will take care of you. The first time is gratis, but every time after, that you will have to pay.
Who are the other participants in the tournament?
All who are brave enough. Many local burghers, natürlich. It is a Kuttenberg tournament, after all.
What will happen if I sign up and then can't make it?
Then I will be bloody disappointed in you. If you do not show up, you will be disqualified from the discipline. No other way.
Are there any prizes?
Yeah, glory and recognition. Also, as in beautiful and valuable things. Coats, armor, weapons, all sorts of things. The city's craftsmen quite liked the idea and wanted to show off their work. So they donated a few pieces as prizes for the victor. But the main thing is to have a good Kampf, is it not?
Of course. Could you go over the basic rules again, please?
We have 3 discipline. Schwertkampf, you will get all...
Of course I'll return.
Not in the... But in free comp, you can participate in and behave...
Thanks. I know everything I need.
So, will you join the tournament?
When is the next tournament?
In 4 days. But there is still time to sign up.
Sign me up for the tournament.
Toll. What discipline will it be?
Longsword, of course. Wouldn't really be sword fighting otherwise.
Na schön. Any other discipline?
I want to fight with a sword and shield.
Na schön. Any other discipline?
That's enough for me.
Pay the entry fee and we are done here.
Here are the groschen, but I plan on winning them all back.
I look forward to seeing your attempt. May Lady Fortune be on your side. On the day of the tournament, go and see Friedrich Kummel. He has the honor of running the tournament and will introduce you. Or you can wait here for the tournament, as you wish.
I want to wait for the tournament here.
Of course. There is a bed here for you. Just give me some groschen for food.
Here you are.
Refrain from sin. Sin is going around our city, and the only defense is piety and virtue. Especially in these times. Be careful. It's not Esteemed citizens of Gutenberg, as you know, today is the day of the glorious Gutenberg tournament. It's why you're all here, and rest assured, your time won't be wasted, as you'll witness many fantastic duels here today. First of all, please welcome our Master Fencer, as well as our esteemed counselors, who have graced us with their presence on this grand occasion. And now, let's welcome our contenders, so we can get started.
I've got your gear here. Put it on and let's get started.
Our fearless fighters will first compete in sword and shield combat. Coordination and timing is paramount in duels like these. Now let's see which of the contenders has mastered the art better. Now, our honorable swordsmen will show off their skills. Henry of Skalitz, a skilled fighter and a good friend of Gutenberg and all its people. Some of you may have already had the honor of meeting him.
So give it
In today's tournament, he wants to prove that the rumors about his prowess are all true. And who's going to face him? King of the morons, idiot of idiots himself, Karel Kamir is the real gem of this tournament. His noggin so thick, not even a hammer blow can knock him out. And he's decided to put that talent to good use today. May God and fortune decide. Contenders, get to it!
Useless.
What the fuck? Too slow.
Hey, lad, come over here.
What a magnificent strike!
End of duel! First contender overpowered his opponent in the first round. Henry of Skalitz! Victory is within his reach, but things are far from over. His opponent surely won't go down without a fight. Ready? Go for it! of duel! Lady Fortune has fairly decided to award the second victory to the stronger of the two contenders. Henry! Henry! And now, two great fighters go head to head.
Don't think I can't see you.
Relax. I'm not doing anything wrong.
Lucky for you.
But don't let his looks fool you. This lad.
You wouldn't have any work for me, would you?
Yeah? I might know of something. Not long ago, ein Frau was here looking for a swordsman. But the whole thing is ein bisschen precarious.
Why? What's the deal?
She is a widow. Poor thing. She was looking for a warrior für ein Duell. And that is something the city council does not like to see. Deshalb, I cannot do it myself. I do not want to lose the Fechthalle. Aber you could help her. Go to her, tell her I sent you. And mein Gott, do nothing to bring shame on our guild. I have faith in you.
Fine. I'll go and see her and find out more.
She lives in the house in the middle of Haradek quarter.
For the glory of Gutenberg, let the duel begin!
I haven't seen swordsmanship like that in a long time.
How to handle his shield?
Now comes the final sword and shield duel. Welcome to those who are yet to meet their match. Henry of Skalitz, welcome him once more. And now, he is going to face another brave warrior. Susie the Smith. May the best man win.
Henry! Henry!
No time to lose. Get to it.
Surprised? Big mistake, shithead. Didn't see that one coming, eh? Now that's what I call an opener.
Duel! In the first duel went to this skillful swordsman who displayed truly beautiful technique. Henry of Skalitz! Victory's within his reach, but things are far from over. His opponent surely won't go down without a fight. Gutenberg, let the duel begin!
Go fuck yourself!
Put this much effort into other off. Such speed! With the shield weighed nothing!
You won't get me!
I had no idea you could even do that with a shield.
What a spectacle!
Fucking hell! Go fuck yourself!
Just don't blame him!
Fucking hell!
Chop that bastard's grip off!
Didn't see that one coming,
I
eh?
had no idea you could
Now
even
that's
do
what I
that
call
with
an
a
opener.
shield.
Holy fuck!
You're holding it like a broomstick!
Shield to pieces.
Prove you've got solid!
The deed is done! The winner of the sword and shield discipline is a nimble, skilled fencer who has yet to be defeated. Henry of Scullets, who has already triumphed once today. The time has come for our contenders to put their skills with the longsword to the test. It is a noble and dangerous weapon. Mastering it is no easy feat, and it is a great honor to behold the skill and courage of those who have done so.
I haven't seen swordsmanship like that in a long time.
We'll see a duel between two men, neither of whom is to be trifled with. Henry of Scullets, welcome him once more.
Give me the gear for the next discipline.
You're right on time. Here, let me give you a hand. Farewell, sir.
An honest miner who will have huge support today. He promised to donate all his winning to the construction of St. Barbara's Cathedral. May God and fortune decide.
As it should be! Glory!
Ready? Fight!
Skill!
He's handy with that thing.
What a spectacle!
What a magnificent stroke! The other bloke's still standing.
Give him one more!
Keep the distance! None come!
For yourselves, which contender handles his weapon? Let's wish him luck in the next round. And his rival, too. He may still turn the duel around.
It wasn't very good.
Don't count your chickens before they hatch.
Scheiße!
The blade was singing!
He's handy with that thing.
One good blow will do.
I'm surprised the other bloke's still standing.
It's decided. An outstanding display. Winner of the sword and shield discipline, Henry of Scullets.
Lady Fortune really smiled on you today, eh?
Men who could easily make war their trade will now be defeating Lady Fortune. Susie the Smith. And which worthy opponent has Lady Fortune chosen for him? already know the winner of the sword and shield discipline. And now we have two brave contenders vying for victory in the longsword discipline. Winner of the sword and shield discipline, Henry of Skalitz. Enjoy the duel that will soon follow. Let your steel ring. Fight.
No, singing! You've got a lot to learn. Useless. Oh, you son of a bitch! Yield!
A joy to behold.
You've got a lot to learn.
What did he do?
Fuck you!
Truly a joy to behold.
End of duel. Our brave contender secured the first victory. Henry is on his side. Let's see how fickle she is today.
Aye, aye. Good start.
Oh!
Singing!
Son of a bitch!
That's how you know a true master!
Show your stuff. I'm just getting started. You've got a lot to learn. Oh! You son of a bitch! Jesus! I'm hit! I'm just getting started.
Take him down!
That's skill. Surprised the other one's still standing.
The final duel is over, and what a spectacle it was! There he is, a masterful swordsman, quick and precise. Such is today's longsword winner, Henry of Skalitz. Discipline of today's tournament. The contenders have drawn their heavy armor.
I haven't seen swordsmanship like that in a long time.
I want to return the tournament gear.
Wonderful. I wish everyone else was as thoughtful as you. Hi. It's all here. Thanks very much.
See you later.
Now, we'll see a fight between men who are no strangers. Cornel, come here! Now his skill will be... by a tough bruiser who's well known across the town. Green Mandolin. May God and fortune decide.
My word. You're quite a skilled sword.
Henry, you need to put on the right tournament gear, or for the glory of Gutenberg, let the duel begin! Why aren't you ready yet? Put on
That
your
victory
tournament
was well
gear.
deserved.
In a moment, we'll see a duel between two skilled and seasoned fighters. Steniak of the Gate! We know our first contender. Now let's see who'll pit his strengths against him. Call the pole. I wish both of you the best of luck and a steady arm.
Hail.
I apologize.
Praise God.
Excuse me.
Good day to you.
Welcome, sir. What can I do for you?
Menhard sent me. I heard you need somebody who knows how to fight.
Praise the Lord. I feared I wouldn't find anyone, and that would have been bad. That I'd end up all alone, just like with everything else.
First, tell me exactly what this is about. Menhard said it was fairly unusual.
My husband, may God rest his soul, left me saddled with some unpleasant business. He liked to spend evenings in the tavern and bet with the other regulars. And he promised one of them a fair sum of money after losing a bet. But that waster of mine recently passed away, and the other fella, Radmill, the cobbler's apprentice, has been hounding me like there's no tomorrow. He swears that he won fair and square and that I have to pay him the money, although I've hardly any myself. But he has no written record of it. We even went to the city council, but they just slammed the door on us. Since my husband's will says disputes are to be resolved by duel and Radmill won't relinquish his claim, it's up to God himself to judge. As a widow, I have the holy right for a fighter to stand for me.
Tell me more about my opponent. What kind of man is he? Perhaps we could reason with him.
What do you want to know about him? He's a whoremonger, lucky enough to run into that gullible husband of mine. There's no talking to him, which makes me wonder why Cobbler Yolland keeps a leech like that in his employ.
I'll fight for you.
Thank you. I was hoping you wouldn't leave a poor old widow in a lurch. Go make arrangements for the duel with that fool, the cobbler's man, in the town hall. Farewell, my friend.
Excuse me.
Greetings to you.
Tell me then, what did he give you for it?
I tell you, and you dob me in.
Are you crazy?
Lord be with you.
On the surface of the pond? Leather pouches, belt straps.
Word about the price.
Very well.
Only because it's you.
You must be from a poor region. Aye, you'll convince me with that price. Great.
God bless.
Careful.
Halt! Who's there? Oh, just you. Corvo, you really startled me there.
God damn it, Hog!
You've
What have you
gotta help
done?
me.
We won't get anything out of him now. What the fuck happened here?
Well, he had a fall.
A fall? He just fell over all on his own and ended up like this?
On his own, honest to God. Fell over and died right before my eyes.
Oh, Jesus. Tell me everything from the beginning.
Well, Chenyek sent me to go and ask about them symbols.
polite like. Only this bastard started fucking with me.
And what happened next?
He was laughing in my face, giving me all sorts of riddles. So I lost it and gave him a bit of a slap. Only he caught another one from the table on the way down and it ended up like this.
Chenyek had a hunch this might happen. Did you find out anything about the symbols, at least, before this?
When I start seeing red, I don't ask no questions.
Chenyek won't be happy that you killed him.
I didn't kill him. He killed himself. All I did was give him a slap to wise him up. Look, don't tell Chenyek. We'll sort it out ourselves somehow.
What am I to do with you? Did he say anything else?
When he saw the smoke coming out of my ears, he said he'd show me some important parchment, but that annoyed me even more. Do I look like a fucking scribe?
Was there something written on it?
Well, how should I know? I gave him a slap, and that was that. Take a look at it yourself. I reckon you got a better head on you. He had some parchment on him. He had some parchment on him. I can't read. Take a look yourself. Well, can you read it? So, did you read it?
Yes, but unfortunately for you, it's another riddle.
Della!
Something about a vineyard and running water. I can't make much sense of it.
The bastard! He's fucking with us, even from beyond the grave!
Well, it's our only lead to find out anything about the symbols.
Oh, I don't have the noggin for this shit, Henry. Chenyek has the quickest wit of all of us. If you can't crack it, you can ask him. But please, don't tell him nothing about me. You won't come up with nothing.
Easy, good horse.
But he threw me out.
And you're surprised?
But it was just a simple misunderstanding.
So, let's see what we have here. My God! Someone really did a number on her. Oh, they ripped open her entire belly. And they didn't stop there. There must have been buckets of blood. Jesus Christ. There's hardly any blood left in her. The place they found her must look like a slaughterhouse. I should go there and take a look. These are more like chops than cuts. Somebody must have taken a sword to her. Knife wounds would be smaller, and an axe would have made a bigger mess. But it couldn't have been a long sword. That would have been clumsy. It was something shorter and nimbler. God, that madman cut off both her breasts and bits of flesh. But what did he do with it all afterwards? Did he really keep all the pieces? Nobody could be that sick, could they? Her face is a little bruised and cut, but nobody cut her there. But she has a dark ring around her neck. Was she strangled? The murderer must have had pretty strong hands, and her hair is all matted with blood and hacked off. I don't even know what colour it was. The murderer must have wanted her to suffer, so he started ripping her hair out. Sick bastard. Her lips are bloody, but nothing more. Tongue still in place. But if he killed her for blabbing, I reckon he'd have cut out her tongue or something, wouldn't he? Just some scratches and bruises, that's all. The killer probably surprised her. She didn't even have time to defend herself. So, the murderer must have awfully strong hands, because he strangled her and left a dark ring around her neck. Then he took a short sword or saber and started hacking at her. She's missing parts of her torso, but they aren't by the body. He also cut off most of her hair. He cut off her breasts, but left her tongue, then left her lying there for all to see. To send a message, maybe? Or a warning? Only if it was a warning for telltales, he would have cut out her tongue or something, wouldn't he? I don't know why he killed her, but I don't think it's because of Catherine. What's the matter? Did you know her?
Alice. She was almost like a sister to me. We served together for years, in the same house. Why'd you ask? Who are you?
I'm trying to find out who did this to her. I'm afraid the killer might want to go after my friend as well.
Ah, I understand.
Who did you serve?
Our master is a local merchant. He is trying his hand at trading wine.
How did Alice get along with your master?
Fine. Just like with everyone. Our master is a bit strict, but he's fair.
What's his name? Can I speak to him?
Why? But you can't see him anyway. He's on a trade trip to Prague.
It occurred to me that maybe he could have done it.
No, he couldn't. He was gone when it happened. He hadn't been home in several weeks. And besides, why would he kill them others too? He never even knew them.
What others?
You haven't heard. A few girls, like our Alice, died before. All really pretty girls.
Do you know of any suitors she might have had?
I know she was seeing someone. Why?
I'd like to talk to him as well.
But I don't know who it was. Alice said he was rich and dressed nicely, but she promised him she'd never tell anyone his name.
And you never saw him?
No, never. I don't even know where she met with him.
Do you know what exactly happened to Alice?
No. Nobody saw or heard nothing. One day she just didn't come home. And then they found her. Like this.
It's awful what they did to her.
She was such a pretty girl. And that beautiful brown hair of hers. And it didn't even leave that untouched. Who could have cut off her hair like that? And why? None of it makes sense.
So, I'll leave you to mourn in peace now.
Good afternoon, sir.
You must be the local gravedigger.
That's right. They call me František. At least them that can speak do. Ha!
I'm Henry.
Greetings, Henry. What do you need?
That dead girl you have in the morgue. Alice.
You've seen her? Poor thing. Who could have done such a thing?
Well, that's what I'm trying to find out. Do you know anything about her?
She's gone to meet her maker. What more do you want to know? You want to take away a piece of her? Well, you can't. Not a hair off her head, a bloody scrap of cloth or a thumb. You hear?
I don't want to take anything. I need to find something out.
Like what exactly?
Who killed her?
Why?
Well, I'm worried something might happen to my friend.
That's true. She wasn't the first, and we can only pray that she'll be the last. It's true that Lumiere ain't shown no interest in her yet. I wouldn't expect that from him no more.
Who's this Lumiere? Another one of those gawkers and collectors?
No, no. He actually tried to help.
Help? How?
Well, he was investigating them others.
Right. You said she wasn't the first.
Aye. We had a couple of similar cases. Lumiere said they was all killed by the same murderer.
And how did he come to that conclusion?
How do I know? Best ask Lumiere yourself.
Do you remember how many girls were killed?
You mean you don't know nothing about it? Here, even the sparrows are squawking about it.
I haven't been in Kuttenberg very long.
I see. There's been one every few weeks for the past year.
Do you know where the last one got killed?
I heard some talk about it when they brought her here. But what do you want to do there?
Look for clues. Footprints, blood, anything.
That can help you?
That's worth a try.
I heard she was killed by the town walls, close to the Hole in the Wall, a dodgy tavern in the Hoprink neighborhood.
Thanks. What's this Lumiere got to do with this?
Well, like I told you, he used to work for the bailiff. I think he was a scribe.
A scribe keeps records in the Black Chronicle, though I've never heard of one doing his own investigations.
Well, the old bailiff wasn't all that interested in the common folk. But Lumiere, he was quite helpful. Folk heard about it and went to him with whatever was troubling them.
I'd like to speak with Lumiere. Do you know where I can find him?
At his home in Bohemia Street, that's near the church. You won't find him at the bailiff's no more. I don't know exactly why, though. Seems he had some quarrel with the bailiff.
Thanks. You've been a big help.
It's my pleasure, especially helping someone from the land of the living again. Actually, wait a mo. Speaking of the living, there's a girl what comes here and grieves over that dead maid. I think her name is Barbara.
I know. I've already spoken to her.
Aha. Good then. Lots of luck to you.
Good soul. gives him superhuman strength.
We'll see about that.
Take care. Farewell.
Easy. Easy. Nice and slow. Lumir?
Oh. Christ, my head. Not so loud.
I need to ask you something.
I said not so loud. I have a splitting headache.
That's some hangover. He's useless to me like this. Unless I'm willing to wait for him to sleep it off, I'll have to get him some kind of cure or potion. This should sober him up. No, not that. Nothing like a little hair of the dog that bit you. Maybe he'll sober up by himself.
Oh. It hurts.
Lumir, do you hear me?
Oh. Not so loud.
He's still completely wasted. This should sober him up. No. Maybe...
Oh.
Lumir?
Oh.
He's still This should sober him. No. Nothing like a little hair of the dog that bit you.
More booze. Christ. I'm gonna puke.
Drink up. It'll make you feel better.
Better already. Wait, what? Who? What are you doing here? Who are you?
My name is Henry.
And what do you want from me?
I'm trying to find out who killed a certain girl. And I was sent to you.
To me? What for?
Are you Lumir from the rat house? The scribe?
I used to be. Now I'm just Lumir the madman.
Well, you don't look crazy.
Yeah. But I am. I see things in my head that aren't real. And then I point my finger at the wrong people. I'm the biggest madman in Kuttenberg.
But I need your help.
If I were you, lad, I'd leave it be. You can't help that girl anymore, anyway. You'll just end up hurting yourself.
Come now, Lumir.
Poor girls. Nobody was all that interested in it, except for me. We let it be in the end. We let a monster walk among us. No way. You can't solve this yourself.
I'm not doing it for myself. I'm afraid he might kill one of my friends.
A friend, eh? That's not good. Not good at all. I searched high and low. And what did I get out of it? Just mockery. What makes you think you can find out more than I did?
Because I'm stubborn, and I don't have any other choice. I'll get to the truth no matter what.
You think that will suffice?
If not, I'd have been dead long ago. Bled out from a human arrow.
All right. Talk to me. Who was this dead girl?
Her name was Alice. She worked as a maid.
A maid? That fits. Yarka was a maid too. As were most of the other victims. What did she look like? What did he do to her?
I think that he strangled her first, and then went at her with a longer blade and disemboweled her.
Did you notice the strangulation right away? It took me a while. Maybe you really will track him down.
Do you think it's the same murder?
Counting your girl, that makes 6 victims who were first strangled and then mutilated. If it's not all the same person, they must be collaborating somehow.
This is the 6th one. How long has he been killing?
Probably about a year now. Sometimes it takes him months, sometimes weeks. But I'm including missing girls, Stanya and Zdena.
Why are you counting the missing girls?
Because I think someone killed them, and we just haven't found them yet.
Did the dead girls have anything in common?
Aside from being pretty young girls with no proper family or background, no. I couldn't find much.
Do you think somebody is killing them because they're poor, and nobody will miss them?
Certainly. If somebody killed the daughter of a local lord, no stone would be left unturned.
But why does he even kill in the first place?
I don't know. Maybe he hates women. Damn it. I feel like I'm going in circles and can't get out.
Why were you looking into it? Who were those dead girls to you?
I don't know what people told you about me, but for many long years I was a scribe for Kuttenberg's bailiff. Kuttenberg is a big city with a lot of people. Silver, silver, silver. Mining it, smelting it, stealing it. There's always something going on. The bailiff was always running from hell to Hades, from one rich man to another, settling their quarrels. Often trivial nonsense.
But there are more than just rich burghers and lords in the city.
Exactly. There are common folk too. There's a lot more of them, and their troubles are usually more serious. So when one of them came to the bailiff's one time, and the bailiff was running around somewhere, I started to deal with it myself. I was pretty good at it too.
Behind the bailiff's back?
Not really. Andreas supported my activities until recently.
What happened?
I don't want to talk about it. Sorry.
Did you have any suspects back then?
You can always find some suspect. I always dragged the most suspicious ones to the body in the morgue by force. And they threw up at the sight. Or fainted.
Couldn't it have just been an act?
Fainting? Vomiting? That's hard to act. I'd swear none of them did it.
What can you tell me about Yarka?
She wasn't the first. But thanks to her, people started taking an interest. She was a maid in a German family. By all accounts, she was a pious, polite girl. She was orphaned as a child. The priest from the Church of St. Peter and Paul, Father Prokop, raised her. They found her body tossed behind a barn at the edge of town. She was cut all the way from her neck downwards. An awful sight to behold.
Did you have any suspects?
At first, I thought the son from that family did it. A murderer is usually someone close, you know. But then I changed my mind.
Why?
Well, for one, I remembered the 2 girls before her who ended up almost the same. Besides that, when I talked to the lad, he seemed he wasn't the least bit interested in Yarka. Then his mother told me that they threw her out a week before the murder because she was a harlot who stayed out till all hours of the night. That really surprised me, because Father Prokop had vouched for her good reputation. But who knows? Maybe he just didn't want to admit what had become of her.
What about Stanya?
She was an alehouse wench in a tavern of ill repute called the Hole in the Wall.
You said her body was never found. Maybe she just got out of town.
You have no idea how much I'd like to believe that. Only there was a lot of blood. Unfortunately, the investigation wasn't very successful. The Hole is a world of its own, and the people there aren't very forthcoming with information.
Did you suspect anybody?
You could suspect every second man there. Those people have nothing but thievery and deceit in their eyes. The innkeeper, Mole, definitely knew Stanya, since she worked for him. But he isn't all that chatty either.
So if I want to learn anything more, I have to ask this Mole in the hole?
Yeah, he still runs the place.
And what about that Zdena? You said her body was never found.
Exactly. But to tell the truth, nobody spent much time looking for it. Besides Alice, Zdena was the most recent victim. It's only been a few weeks since she went missing, but I suppose nobody wanted to do any more digging.
But if her body was never found, how do you know she was killed?
Because she was the same type as the other girls. Maybe the prettiest of them all. Young, beautiful. A real live one. Lively as the devil. She was a thief. A pickpocket. I never could pin it on her, though. She always found some way to get out of it.
Maybe she robbed the wrong people and had to get out of town.
Maybe. She had a partner in crime by the name of Strunad. Quite a number. He's always sitting in the hole, boozing. When I asked him about Zdena, he told me he'd rather rip his own tongue out than talk.
Do you think he'd be more forthcoming with me?
He might be. You're not known all over town like a catchpole. It's worth a try. Besides, it might still be fresh in his memory. That would be a great help.
And what about the other two victims?
It all started with them, though nobody did much about it at the time. The first one worked as a bathhouse maid. They called her Chestnut. She'd only been in town for a short while, and nobody really knew her. So I couldn't find out anything more. But the other one, Libushka, she was from Loretz. She was a maidservant, too. I also talked to her mother. She said she was really cheerful and outgoing. There were lots of suitors circling around her, but she refused them all. She knew she was pretty, and knew she could do better than some farmhand.
You mean she wanted someone higher up?
That's what it sounded like. But her mother never found out who she had her eye on.
Interesting. I'll try to see what else I can find out from the mother. Where can I find her?
In the graveyard, lad. The poor woman died of grief. It's sad to say, but we can't help those two dead girls now. And they can't help us with our investigation either. There's nobody else left who could tell us anything about them.
All right. It seems I know everything I need to know. It seems there's some killer on the loose here. He murders brunette girls and disfigures their bodies. His first victim was apparently the maid Yarka. I'll go and question her guardian, Father Prokop. Another two possible victims of the same killer are Stanya and Zdena. They both hung around a dodgy tavern called the Hole in the Wall.
There has to be some hidden connection between these cases. I hope you'll find it, since I couldn't.
I hope so. Otherwise we won't have anything to go on.
When you learn something more, stop by and see me. You've aroused a bit of hope in me, lad. I hope you won't disappoint me.
Last time it rained for a week straight, we were up to our knees in a river of shit.
I'll just keep quiet.
Easy, easy. Nice and slow.
Good day to you. What brings you here?
Father, I need to ask you a few questions.
I don't have time for theological discussions, my son.
That's not why I'm here. My name's Henry, and I wanted to ask about the murder that happened recently. Someone killed and gutted a young maidservant and left her body lying by the city walls. And I hear it's not the first time this has happened.
Another one murdered. May the Lord grant her eternal rest. Why is it you ask?
Somebody is murdering maids here. We have to put an end to it.
Yes, but those poor souls are already at God's side, and revenge never...
I don't want revenge. I want to stop more killing. That's a better reason, isn't it?
True enough. What do you need to know?
One of the other victims was a girl named Yarka. But I reckon you know that, don't you? What can you tell me about her?
About Yarka? She was an ordinary girl. She served the von Groll family.
Where did you know Yarka from?
I knew her since she was a little girl. Knew her family.
And?
I was her uncle. When my brother and his wife died, I took care of her.
You raised her? A priest with a child?
Yes. Unfortunately, I'm not the first of the clergy to have a child on the side. But at least everyone knew Yarka wasn't my own daughter.
How does that even work? Did you have her with you at the presbytery?
When she was small, I could. But when she grew up, she had to go. It wouldn't look right.
No offense, but how did you know what to do? Without a wife, without a family? I would have been lost.
I was a bit, When she was smaller, it was fine, but when she grew up a bit, maybe I was too hard on her.
Why do you think you were too hard on her?
Yarko was an orphan, with no family and no possessions. Her only chance of a good life was a good upbringing. And then, a husband. But the more I led her in that direction, the more she resisted me.
How did she rebel against you?
She wouldn't listen. She ran away. She ran around with all sorts. And how did it turn out? She died. And in sin. Such a disgrace.
Disgrace? What the devil are you talking about?
She was pregnant! Even if she had lived, what then? Nobody would want to marry her anymore.
You're well off, though. Couldn't you provide for her?
I couldn't. Even if she had been my very own. More so, since she was my brother's.
But how come?
The church's property always remains the church's. They keep a close eye on that.
Who do you think killed her?
William, that pig of Satan. He gambles in the tavern on All Saints' Day and leads the locals astray. Yarka always went there to listen to music. I'm sure he got her with child.
Why do you think it was William? Do you have any evidence?
Evidence? He's a skirt chaser, a tool of Satan. He messes with poor girls' heads.
And does anyone else come to mind? No other man spoke with her?
No, absolutely not.
Why don't you respect Lumiere?
That's my business. You needn't concern yourself about that. I won't tell you anything.
come now, Father. I'm not just asking out of curiosity. This is about all the dead girls. Isn't it written in Scripture, speak up for those who have no voice?
A layman quotes the Bible to me. Fine. Lumia accused me of her murder.
What?
Yes. He slandered me in public.
And how... what happened then?
It turned out he was deranged. How could he even think such a thing? He's finished in Kuttenberg.
I've heard enough, Father. I'll be going.
Son, I'll give you some good advice. Don't listen to Lumia. That man has gone completely mad.
Easy, good horse.
What would you like?
I'll have a look at the wares. Let's talk about the price.
Well, I suppose we can try.
What would you say to this?
That's quite a sum. Lower your price a bit and we'll make a deal. You see, I knew we'd make a deal. I'm glad you found what you were looking for, sir.
What a day that was.
Easy, good horse. Slowly. Nice and slow.
To your health, my friend.
God bless you, sir.
I could use some help with the riddle about the symbols.
If it's one of old Grease's riddles, don't even start. They always give me a pain in the noggin. See you later, my friend.
One last beer, he says.
How's life been treating you?
Good evening, my friend. What do you need?
I don't have anything for you yet.
All right. Come back when you do.
Because forgotten I...
Hinnet gave Hogg a peculiar riddle. We can't quite figure it out.
Old Greaser was known for those. Tell me then, what did he say?
A vineyard in the town. Strange, but who knows? And yet there it is, quite nearby, by the water that gushes. Now listen and try to keep your eyes open so that you can tell. Shortly after the midday bell, you'll find us where the shadow goes.
Sounds pretty mixed up to me. A vineyard. I only know the one outside of town, but Riddle mentions one inside of it. It must be something similar to a vineyard, and the part with the water might be a well? Or maybe a fountain?
Well, thanks. I'll see what I can do.
Why the hell do they pour the beer on the table?
What can I do for you?
Did Estanya work here?
Stanya. Maybe. It depends on who's asking.
My name's Henry.
Names don't interest me. The main thing is whether it's a good guest or a bad guest asking. What kind of guest are you, Henry?
I'm a good guest.
Really? Let's see. Do you know how to recognize a good guest?
By the fact he spends a lot of coin?
Aye. I like talking to them kind of guests. A lot. So, what'll it be, my good man?
What if I simply paid you and you tell me what I want to know?
Ask away.
I want to know if Stanya worked here.
She did. And she don't know more. What's it to you?
I heard she disappeared without a trace. So I'm trying to find out if anyone had anything to do with it.
It's possible. The chamber she was sleeping in here was totally ransacked. The door open. Everything emptied out. And Stanya was gone. All I found were bloody footprints.
Tell me something else.
First, you'll have another beer. Or is it time to pay?
What?
If you want to ask, you have to drink. Didn't you get that?
You're quite the extortionist.
I prefer to be called an enterprising man of trade. So, what'll it be?
I don't want to pay you any more. I think you could answer my questions directly and not always try to wheedle money out of me. That makes it look like you might have some motive for keeping me from finding out anything about that murder.
Nonsense. How could you think that? Come on. Ask me anything you want.
Did anybody see what actually happened when Stanya disappeared?
No, it was at night. Nobody saw or heard anything. The tavern tends to be empty at that hour. And you won't meet many people on the street, neither.
How did Stanya's room look?
The door was wide open. Most of her things were gone, but some remained. And there was blood all over the place.
Blood? Was there a lot?
Not so much, really. More like hand or footprints. But they were near everywhere. If someone done her in, they definitely didn't do it in that chamber.
What was Stanya like? What can you tell me about her?
A bold woman. One has to be here. Everyone's ballsy here unless you nib it in the bud right away. She was hanging around a bard for a while. I don't know how close they were, but she also had another suitor.
Someone from the city?
No, a charcoal burner. I heard he was from somewhere in the, Verchlitz Valley. I think his name was Barton?
What do you know about that bard?
What about him? He's a minstrel, a skirt chaser. What more can I say? He called himself William. As far as I know, he plays in the Miners' Tavern in the evenings. But sometimes he shows up here, too.
You think he might have been the one who...
Now that you mention it, he cleared out of town for a while and only came back not long ago. It could be him, all right. I know he met with some odd people and talked about God knows what, like bloody spies. Besides, you know what minstrels are like. Lasses just flock to them. And like they say, opportunity makes the thief.
Or in this case, a murderer. Apart from those men, did anyone else know Stanya? I mean, more intimately.
Well, I got bad news for you. She had two close friends, but you won't get much out of either of them.
Why?
One was hit by a cart, even before Stanya disappeared, and she died. And the other one got married and moved away.
Where can I find this Barton?
I already told you, in the Verchlitz Valley.
Could you be a bit more precise?
I don't know that bloke at all. All I know is he's a charcoal burner. So if I was you, I'd look somewhere around the charcoal kilns.
That's all I need to know. Are you Sternad? The one that went with Zdenna?
Who the fuck are you?
Just an ordinary bloke who has some questions.
Well then, piss off. You won't get any answers here. All you're gonna get here is a kick in the teeth.
Why so rash? That kind of attitude will do you no favours. Let's make a deal. You tell me everything you know about Zdenna, and I'll make sure you're no worse for wear.
Ah. You're the lord what that whore robbed. Don't worry about it. She weren't nothing but a lying bitch.
So, if I understand correctly, we can make a deal?
For the right price, I'll tell you all I know.
Is this the right price?
You fucking bet it is. Ask away and I'll tell you everything.
Where can I find Zdenna?
Aye. That's what I like to fucking know too. Last time I saw her... Well, that'd be back when she managed to fleece you.
Yeah. Well, I'd like to find her.
I can well imagine. Well, she went to Ravstein Mill. It's quite a long ways away. She had some unfinished business with some bloke called Pint. Ain't nobody seen her since then.
What can you tell me about Zdenna?
What do you want to hear? I try to keep her out of trouble, but there's just no helping some women.
So you were taking care of her?
Well, just in front of the others. Other than that, She did what she wanted. Always made her mind up and did things her own way.
So you weren't too fond of her?
Not really, no. But she did have a knack for making coin.
Did she have any friends or lovers who'd know more? Did anybody come here to see her?
Who come to see that bitch? She was always off somewhere, seeing someone. Although, once...
Someone came to see her?
Well, aye. Some stuffed frog came here once. All old and decrepit. He said he had some job for her. That she should leave behind her sinful life and all that shit. But he left empty-handed. She told him to go to hell.
Do you know who that priest was?
Some fucking Prokop or Pravoslav or some such shit. But that reminds me, I saw her a couple of times with another bastard. That fucking bard, William.
And could she have run away with this bard, William?
With that lily-livered fop? Well, he ain't been seen in town for some time, but I think someone was out to get him. He still don't come here no more. He plucks that loot of his in the miners' tavern. The wee shit.
What do you know about this priest?
Not much. Seems they knew each other from before. And he had some job for her somewhere. Serving as a maid or something. But she weren't stupid. She told him to fuck right off.
And did he go?
Aye, indeed. He didn't look like the kind of fella that would knock some sense into a woman. I think he just told her if she changed her mind to come and see him. Or some shit like that.
And could she have changed her mind and gone to him? And that's why nobody's seen her?
No, no. She took off. I'm sure about that.
I've heard enough. Easy, good horse. Easy, good horse.
Greetings.
God bless.
Easy, good horse.
Gather round, good men, so you can avoid danger. Hear what I say about the greatest evil of all, the one called woman. They look like angels on the outside, soft, gentle, and well-formed, enough to turn even an honest man's head. But under this pretty skin, there's a devil who only cares for trinkets and finery and thinks nothing of stealing or whoring to get them. And don't think this one or that one may be different. They are all secretly in league, one covering up the wrongdoings of the other. Forget about women's skin-deep beauty. If thine eyes offend thee, pluck them out. If thine tongue offends thee, cut it out. Return to God. Pray and beg him to free you from base desires. Beg him for forgiveness for being brought into this world by a woman.
At last, someone's got the guts to say it out loud. So you're insulting me too now?
Ah, sorry. I didn't mean it.
Easy, easy. Nice and slow.
Like Satan himself, they lurk in their...
Go! God! Whoa, whoa! God! 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 Quick! God! Quick! Quick! God! Whoa! Go! Quick! 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 I'm looking for someone named Stanya.
You're in a charcoal camp, fella. What would a woman be doing here?
But you know Stanya, don't you?
Aye. You could say that. Why?
I'm looking for the killer of a girl in town. And I heard that someone also tried to kill this Stanya.
That's true. She told me something like that. But that was a long time ago.
So you don't know what became of her?
I really don't know, mate. But even if I did know, how can I be sure you aren't that killer?
I wouldn't be foolishly asking around for her then, would I?
Why not? How else would you find her?
Without getting seen by any witnesses.
What do you mean? What witnesses?
I mean you. If I tried anything, you'd remember me.
Well, that didn't occur to me. That would really be stupid of you.
I really only want to talk to her.
Sorry, but after all that happened to Stanya, I like to be careful.
So Stanya is here?
Aye. She's hiding with us. Since that thing happened, she's afraid to even go outside. I don't know what to do with her anymore.
Can I speak to her?
If it'll help you. She's hiding in that cottage, but be nice to her. She's in a bad way. She used to be such a gutsy girl. Till we meet again.
God bless you. Who are you? How did you find me? If you came here to finish what you started, I'm not afraid of you. I'll claw your eyes out.
Don't be afraid. Barton told me where to find you.
Barton sent you to me. What do you want from me?
Lumir thought you were dead. I was supposed to find out what happened to you.
Lumir? From the rat house? He sent you.
Exactly. Someone killed a girl in Kuttenberg. Lumir thought it might be connected with you, so maybe you could help us find out who did it.
How can I help you when I haven't been in Kuttenberg since... I don't even know when.
You disappeared from the hole in the wall without saying goodbye. Without a word. What happened?
Someone attacked me when I was coming home from the baths one night. I managed to get away, but I was so afraid, I decided to run away from Kuttenberg.
Did you see who it was?
Not at all. I didn't see anything until he jumped out of the shadows and grabbed me around the neck. And he was terribly strong. I nearly blacked out right away.
And how did you manage to break free?
I had an empty pitcher in my hand, and I hit him with it. He howled and let me go, and I ran away.
Here? To the charcoal burners?
No, first to my room in the hole. I was so scared there. I took what I could and ran. Here, to Barton.
And your lover? What did he say?
At first he was horrified, because I had cut myself on a shard from the pitcher and was all bloody. He's been hiding me here since then.
What was it like working in the hole?
Well, I earned a few groschen, that I did. But I often had to grit my teeth.
How so?
Every single day I had to put up with their lewd remarks. Rich or poor, everyone wants to grope a girl. People, well, us girls have to watch out. We can't just put up with it, and sometimes we have to be tough, especially in a place like the hole. But you can't overdo it either. That's no good.
How so?
Because if you smile at them nicely, then sometimes they leave a groschen, or even two. You have to keep a balance. To look friendly, but unavailable.
You said that rich or poor, they all like to grope girls. Like who?
Truth be told, the hole isn't exactly a good place for a rich man, but young von Groll used to go there for a while.
Is that so? Did he talk to you?
He smiled at me a lot, so I smiled back, but beyond a few groschen, there was nothing more to it. Then this thieving wench started hanging around him and... oh, it doesn't matter. But that servant of his didn't like it, tried to drive her away, and so the young lord stopped bringing him with him.
Von Grolla had a servant with him?
Aye, a pudgy fella, well-dressed, but had a mean face. He never said a word or smiled, or even said thank you.
You walked home from the baths at night?
What's so odd about that?
Well, at night, the baths are...
Ah, right. I went there after closing. I always brought the girls a pitcher of wine or ale and took a bath while they drank it.
Ah. So that's why you had the empty pitcher you hit him with?
Right. I went there regularly. Every week.
The same way every time?
Aye, always the same way. The shortest one. I didn't want to stay out too long at night.
And who knew that you went by yourself to the baths?
Well, everyone from the tavern, I reckon. I didn't hide it.
Why didn't you go back to the hole?
Just to get murdered there? Are you mad? I'm never going back there. Not until they catch him.
Do you remember anything important about the attacker? What he looked like? What he was wearing?
I don't know anything. It was at night. He grabbed me from behind, and then I ran and never turned back.
And what about when you hit him? What did he do?
He let me go and cursed.
Aha. And what did he say?
He said Scheisse in German.
Seems you're the only one to survive the killer's attack. I know it isn't easy for you to think about it, but try to remember something else about that moment, or when you were running away. Anything can help us, even if it seems insignificant.
I don't know. It's all like in a fog.
You were walking down the street. Did you notice anything before he attacked you?
No, nothing.
You didn't see anything or hear anything?
Actually, I knew the side street wasn't empty. I heard somebody talking, but when I looked, there was nobody there. So when somebody grabbed me, I completely froze.
Did you understand what they were talking about?
Not at all. But there were two voices. Two of them waiting for me there.
It's difficult, I understand. But I need you to think hard one more time. Aside from those voices and the empty street, what else do you remember?
I didn't hear him at all. And then he grabbed me.
And nothing else? Did he grab your hair?
Well, no. He grabbed me by the throat right away and squeezed. Just for a moment. But I still had a big bruise round my neck for weeks. Barton said the man must have had a terribly strong grip, like a miner or swordsman.
Couldn't it have been that innkeeper then? You yourself said he's a pig.
Aye, when he drinks, he turns into a total bastard. All lewd remarks and groping fingers. The lecher. Only when I got to my room, I could hear him snoring. It couldn't have been him.
Couldn't it have been Father Prokop?
Father Prokop? I don't know him.
Well, he's pretty old. He preaches in the Church of St. Peter and St. Paul.
I don't know him. And if he's an old man, how strong could his grip really be?
I heard William liked pretending to be a spy. Do you know anything about that?
Aye, I thought it pretty silly. A stupid trick to make himself seem more interesting. Though I reckon he's more likely to attract an arse-kicking than a woman.
How are you now?
I'm still awful scared. I can't fall asleep knowing that, and I can't even really leave the house.
I reckon that'll be all.
I'm sorry I'm not able to help you more.
You don't need to apologise.
Thank you. Could I ask you for a favour?
If it's in my power.
When you catch that bastard, would you please let me know? So I can finally stop being afraid.
I'll stop by if I can.
Well, see you later. Have a good evening.
Quick! Quick! God! Go! Quick! 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 Die! Quick! Have you found the rest of that Cuman gang that ambushed you yet?
Yeah. I tracked down their camp. It's not far from here. But there's a horde of them.
Oh, shit. What will you do?
We have to face them. We have no choice. They still have our chest. But since you're here, friend, we could sure use an extra sword. What do you say? Will you stand in battle once more at the side of the Zimburg brothers?
So how many Cumans are there?
I don't know exactly. But their camp isn't exactly small. I'd feel a lot safer if you went there with us.
Remind me, please. What's so important about that chest they stole from you?
Well, it's a family heirloom. Nothing special, just a small decorated chest.
And what's inside?
It's not important. I'll tell you everything once we get it back.
I'd really like to help you, but I have to do something first.
Seriously? A knight requests your assistance, and you have something better to do? That would not go down well back in Moravia.
I promise I'll be right back as soon as I can.
Well, go on then. But don't tarry. We won't wait forever.
I'm here, like I promised.
I'm glad to see you kept your word. Will you help us then, with those thieving dogs?
I can't pass up an opportunity like this. Let's crack some thieving heads.
I knew we could count on you. Tugbone will get the horses ready, and we'll be off.
Henry, come here.
So? Have you come up with a plan?
There's nothing to plan. We'll just storm in and cut them to pieces.
You want to get yourself killed? We can't just waltz into their camp. We should take advantage of the fact that they don't know about us. Take them out one by one, nice and quietly.
You can't be serious. That's the way of murderers, not knights.
Enough. Leave it to me. I'll sneak in and take care of them. Clean and quiet, like.
No! I came here for revenge.
Jan, damn it. What good is revenge if they kill us? Let Henry try at least. If something goes wrong, we'll storm them from behind.
Fuck it! Well, go on then!
Good luck.
Huh?
Ez meg mi a faszom? Mi van? Megint. Mi a faszom? Ha? Baszakodsz velem? Hé, mindenki!
Mi lehet ez? Ha? Hé!
Takarodj innen, hey!
Right, I'm going. Calm down.
Tartsd meg a hülyeségeidet és tűnj el! Meg fogod bánni! Kibaszott szarzabáló!
Mocskos disznós lesz! Nem kellett volna beleütnöd az orrodat!
Most elkaplak!
Na faszomba!
Vigyen egy jobban!
Dögölj már meg!
Estünk túl rajta! Baszni rá! Téged is megvan!
What's it to be, you wretch?
More of them!
Victory or death? Get yourself.
Nicely done!
That's a lot of blood. This should stop it.
It's done. The camp is clear. Do you feel better now? Finally getting your revenge?
Yeah, not at all. We still have to find our chest. Try looking around here a bit. If you find something, come back to me.
I found something, but it doesn't look like a chest for valuables.
You give it here! Quickly! Oh, thank God. We're saved.
And now I hope you'll finally tell me what's in the chest.
You're right. I promised you. As you correctly noted, it is not a chest for valuables. It is a reliquary.
What? So they stole a bunch of bones?
In your hands, you held Knight Alesh of Zimburg, our father.
What?
At least, what's left of him. You see, when father died, as well as his 2 grieving sons, he also left behind his worldly possessions. In particular, our family seat, Engelsberg Castle. The castle that rightfully belongs to us. But our mother refuses to grant it to us. Instead, she made our uncle steward. She says we're too young and reckless for such responsibility.
And why did your mother entrust the castle to your uncle? As a widow, she could also rule, right?
It's a gesture of goodwill. Mother always had what you might call a warm relationship with Uncle Predbor of Zimburg. But as a knight, he couldn't hold a candle to our father. That idiot would like to return the estates to the lower nobility. That's why we need to get our castle back quickly.
And why did your mother entrust... And how is this related to the reliquary?
In accordance with family tradition, the remains of the lords of Zimburg are buried in sedlets. This is how the monastery shows its gratitude to our ancestor, the founder of our line, who had it built long ago. Many years ago, however, we moved to Moravia and abandoned the tradition. My brother and I decided to lay our father to rest in this holy place, and prove to our mother that we had grown up.
Except on the way, they stole the reliquary from you.
Indeed. If Mother found out what happened, she would never hand over Engelsberg, not even to our grandchildren.
Why didn't you want to tell me what we were looking for?
You don't take it personally, but if word got out that we had lost it, even for a short time, you can't imagine what an embarrassment that would be. Our father, a noble knight, in the hands of Sigismund's foreigners? Oh, fortunately, we saved him.
I know what it's like to bury a father. I was glad to help you.
You are a good and honorable man, Henry. Once more, in the name of the Zimburgs, and in the name of our dead father, I thank you. Now my brother and I must go to Sedlets, but then we will stay here for a while. If you need anything, you know where to find our camp. Until then, good luck, my friend.
May God be with you.
God! God! Quick! God! God! Get out of here! God! Quick! Go! God!
Oh,
God bless you, sir.
Are you Pint?
I am. Why?
I'm looking for his denner.
I don't know any's denner.
Sternad said something different.
You're a friend of Sternard's, are you?
Actually, I don't really know him that well. But he's the only one I know who knew Denner. And he sent me to you.
Well, if he told you that, I reckon it's all right. He's not much of a traitorous rat, I reckon.
I wouldn't entirely count on that. So you knew Denner? Can you tell me something about her?
I knows Denner all right, but she ain't been here in some time. Why are you looking for her? What do you want from her?
I'm looking for a... Back in the city, they think she's either dead or run off somewhere. And you're the last person to see her before she went missing.
Kurva.
What can you tell me about Zdena?
She always had it hard. She lost her parents and her home as a child. She had to learn to take care of herself.
And what about Sternad? How does he fit into this?
Sternard was her guardian angel, as she used to say. If she hadn't been thieving with him, she probably would have ended up a whore. But by sharing with him, she could do what she wanted.
Uh-huh. I'm surprised she stuck with him as long as she did.
That's because she had a hideout somewhere nearby. That's why she'd come to me with her loot, before they taxed her on the spot. And the last time she was here, she said one more haul like this, and she'll be able to go wherever she wanted, to Prague or Vienna.
I heard she wanted to sell you some valuables. Is that true?
Oh, aye. She had a good haul, no rubbish. Mostly jewellery, rings, one signet ring with a coat of arms and everything. She left it all here. I paid her a pretty sum of coin. It was a good thing she had a basket with her, otherwise she couldn't have carried it all.
And what about that signet ring? Do you still have it?
She didn't sell me the ring. She wanted to keep it. Said it'd bring her luck someday.
Do you know what kind of luck she meant? Did you recognize the signet on the ring?
No, I didn't recognize that signet. But all the while, Dana was giggling to herself. I reckon she had her eye on another mark.
Where did she go next from here? You said she had a lot of coin on her.
That she did. She also had a feeling someone was following her. Someone on a horse.
Someone followed her on a horse from Kuttenberg. Did she say what he looked like?
She didn't. At first, she thought it was some wealthy lord out for a ride. But he held back. Never passed by her and...
And did you see him? Did he come all the way here?
No. But Zdena thought he would show. She even left her scarf here and paid some girl to walk around with it to make it look like she was still here.
And then where'd she go?
She wanted to go the back way, through the woods, so nobody could follow her. Past the woods is a road and a ford across a stream. Next to it is a huge boulder. When it rains, the water can rise fast. The road goes on to Kuttenberg.
Well, if it leads back to the road and there was really someone following her, I reckon if they saw she was long in returning, They could have waited for her at the ford, no?
Fuck! That's quite possible. I made a point of looking, but I didn't see any riders that day. So I forgot about it.
And could it have been Father Prokop following her?
What do I know? If he has a horse and fancy clothes. But why would he do it?
I heard he wanted to find her an honest job, but she wasn't interested.
I don't know. She didn't say nothing about that.
And could it have been William?
And who would that be?
He's this bard she was seeing.
I don't know about that. I don't remember her mentioning nobody by that name.
Well, I'll go and check out that ford. Maybe I'll find something there.
I hope you don't. Take care, sir.
God!
That has to be that ford Pint was talking about. I should take a look around here. Good. Poor thing. She didn't get very far. Ugh, she's been lying here a long time. At first glance, this body isn't as mutilated as the others. Unfortunately, I can't tell if somebody strangled her like the others. She's been lying here too long for that, but her head is smashed in. Either the murderer hit her with a rock, or dashed her hard against the ground. She must have put up a fight. Or maybe he lost his patience. Oh, she's all stuck to her clothes. They're torn up, but I don't see any cuts. The rips are odd. Like someone was looking for something. Oh, I can't make much out by now, but it seems as if the fingers on her right hand are broken. Did the murderer torture her? Or was he trying to get something out of her hand? Oh, my God. Oh, something fell out of her. A signet ring. Oh, that must be the one she stole. But how did it get inside her? Did she swallow it herself? Or did the murderer shove it in there? Was she trying to hide it? Or was it punishment for stealing? Well, that's enough. But what does it all mean? I'd say she put up a decent fight, and the killer had to improvise, and that's about all I can find out. She's probably been lying here a few weeks, but that ring is a good lead. Slowly. Nice and slow.
Be with you.
Whistling for?
Better already.
It does need repainting.
I'm not paying for it.
Look, the priest is the priest. But we all go to church.
It's William, right? I need to talk to you.
What is it? Do we know each other? Do I owe you money?
My name's Henry, and no, we don't know each other, and you don't owe me money. But we do have something in common. We have a lot of mutual friends.
What? What do you want of me? I don't have to talk to you.
Well, you don't have to, that's true. But you should. It's in your own best interest.
What are you talking about?
If you don't start giving me some answers right now, I reckon you'll end up begging in the streets. Because I'll break all your fingers, and you'll never play the lute again, you miserable minstrel.
What? No! Come on, I didn't do anything!
Stop whining and talk, or I'll be the one doing something to you.
Come on. All right then. Ask away.
Did you know Alice?
I know a lot of Alices. You have to be more specific.
The one they found dead somewhere below the town walls.
Oh, her. I didn't know her, but I heard about it.
I heard she used to go to dances.
Yeah, and? I'm not the only musician in the city. I really didn't know her.
They say she had a rich young suitor. Do you know anything about that?
Me? Do I look rich to you? I get paid in food.
But you could at least pass yourself off as wealthy.
Or I could claim to be the Virgin Mary, but I doubt anyone would believe me.
And did you ever meet Yarka? It was a long time ago, but I heard she used to hang around you a lot. And Father Procot didn't like it.
Oh, that one. Aye, she was very keen on my company for a while, but then she stopped coming.
Because somebody killed her?
I know what happened was a tragedy, but it wasn't my fault. She stopped talking to me long before that. Honest.
And did you know she was pregnant?
What? Yarka was... That's horrible. Who would kill a pregnant woman?
That's what I'd like to find out. What about the unwilling father-to-be? It wouldn't happen to be yours, would it?
What? Mine? I never even got under her skirt. We just flirted a bit, and then she stopped coming by.
And can you tell me anything else about it?
I don't know anything. It was a long time ago. You said so yourself.
And I hear you knew Stanya.
Which one do you mean?
The alehouse wench from the hole. I heard you had something with her too.
Well, she batted her eyes at me a couple of times when I was still playing there. A nice girl, but I didn't know her much.
And the innkeeper Mole told me a different story. He said you were the one coming on to her.
Fine, we had a bit of fun together. But she was always the one who started it.
Before she gave you the boot for an ordinary charcoal burner.
That's not true. She'd been seeing that charcoal burner long before she met me.
And you didn't mind?
Why should I? I didn't want to marry her.
So what did you want from her then?
You're yanking my pizzle, right? Of course I wanted to fuck her, but no, we never got around to it.
Someone wanted to kill her.
What? Her? Yeah, but... What does that have to do with me? It wasn't me, and I don't know anybody who'd want to do that either.
And what about Zdena? You knew her, right?
Do I know Zdena? As wild as the wind and always full of life. And those nimble fingers. You always had to check your purse around her.
Did she steal something from you?
A travelling minstrel doesn't have much to steal, but she was well aware of that. She was on the lookout for some better prey.
Well, Zdena's days of stealing are over.
They caught her. I told her she'd be better off travelling the world with me.
And worse. Someone killed her. It's been a while now.
So her too? Jesus Christ.
I'm afraid so. I'm sorry.
Thanks. Though it should have occurred to me since you're asking about her.
You don't happen to know who she wanted to rob?
There were lots. Anyone she thought was rich enough who let her ply her charms for a while. Like young von Groller. When he started coming here, she got to him right away. Said she was going to rob him blind.
And might she have stolen a ring from him?
I don't know. I had to disappear before she succeeded. Look, why are you asking me about all this? You don't seriously think I killed her, do you?
Well, you did know them all.
And? I'm surely not the only one.
That may be true. But everybody knows you're a skirt chaser, and they were all pretty girls. And now, they're dead.
But I had nothing to do with it!
confess, or this won't end well for you.
What do you mean, won't end well?
If you come clean and get lucky, they'll hang you. If not, you'll get the rack. So, did you do it?
No, I didn't!
Good. I believe you. But if any clue leads me back here to you, I won't give you a second chance.
You won't hear about me again, I swear to God.
Oh, Christ. Pardon me.
I'll be with you.
What a beautiful horse.
A fountain? Where does the water come from? Here, in the middle of the city.
Greetings to you.
Before every fight, that it gives him superhuman strength.
We'll see about that.
See you next time.
Hail!
I found out some interesting things about those murders. Just like you said.
That's wonderful news. But wait a while. I promised Catherine we'd wait for her.
You know Catherine?
She came to see me soon after you did, and started asking me questions. Just like you.
Will you send for her? So, we're all here.
I hope nobody else shows up. How did it go?
I reckon I've found out all I can.
And do you know who the murderer is?
Not exactly, but I have a few ideas.
I've asked around a bit, and I have my own suspicions.
Is that so? See, I was trying to recall some more details, and I had someone come to mind as well.
I didn't do all this for nothing, did I?
Well,
Well? Who do you suspect now?
Well, I'd say William did it. The minstrel.
You can't be serious. He's innocent.
Uh-huh. And who do you think it was?
Prokop. I'm sure of it.
No. Really? That's impossible. It couldn't have been him.
So I see we disagree. Too bad. We could have been done with it quickly.
Well, who do you think it was then?
I'm not entirely sure. First, I'll tell you what I found out, and then it might be easier for us.
Go on then. Starting with who?
Let's talk about Yarka, the one raised by Father Prokop.
What did you learn about her?
Prokop didn't just raise her out of the goodness of his heart. He was actually her uncle.
Really? But he still could have killed her.
His own relative?
Why not? He's a priest. I'm sure he knows the story of Cain and Abel.
Prokop also admitted that he didn't know how to handle her, and perhaps he was too strict.
What do you expect from a Bible thumper? Man punishes and God forgives. It never occurs to them that if man didn't punish, God wouldn't have to forgive.
Well, maybe I wouldn't hold it against him. He really tried to make sure she was well taken care of. He wanted to find her a husband, too.
And did you learn who he found?
No. I think it fell apart when Yarka started rebelling. Yarka started working for the von Grolle family, where she remained until her death.
I was there to ask whether she'd given them any trouble, but they said she was always thorough and reliable.
Ah, so what's the story with von Grolls?
A very wealthy and important family. The mother is quite devout, known to spend a lot of time in prayer. Old von Groller's been sick for years. Can't even get out of bed.
So, who runs affairs?
That would be young Hendel. They say he's quite successful.
Before her death, I heard she often went to dances.
There's nothing wrong or surprising about that. But maybe she found someone there.
Maybe. Prokop was convinced that she went to see William. That was actually the only name he mentioned.
That doesn't mean anything.
It means she had some relationship with William, or at least knew him.
And now, most importantly, Yarka was pregnant when they killed her.
I didn't know that. Do you know for sure? So they gutted her?
To make it impossible to tell she was pregnant? I wouldn't be surprised.
May God forgive us.
Do you know who she was pregnant with? Because if we know who the father is, we'll likely know who the killer is.
She didn't tell Prokop.
It had to be someone from those dances. Maybe William.
Prokop is convinced that she was murdered by that bard, William.
And I agree with him. I heard the daughters of important men come to see him. It even went so far he had to flee the city. And the moment he's back, there's another murder.
Really? But I found out you accused Prokop first, Lumir.
What? Why?
It doesn't matter. It was a mistake, and I paid for it.
And were you as sure then as you are now about William?
I don't think so. But he's a skirt chaser. If he got Yarka pregnant, then...
Perhaps. But why would he kill and mutilate her? He could have just run away.
But then he could never come back.
Why not? He could come back a year later, once things have died down, the child would be born, the shame forgotten, and nobody would bring it up again.
I suppose that makes sense. That's all I was able to find out.
You still found out more than I did.
But it's not enough. We still don't know who the killer is.
But we can agree that she was killed because of her pregnancy, can't we?
Agreed. Somebody got rid of her to make sure nobody found out she was pregnant.
I'm sure William wanted...
William isn't the only man with a prick. And he certainly didn't use it to strangle her to death.
Such language. What are you trying to say?
That William isn't the only man in the city. It could have been anyone. And now we'll never find out.
I'm not saying it couldn't have been him. Though I don't think it was. It just seems foolish to only focus on him.
I suppose you're right. Let's forget it.
I managed to find Stanya.
Alive? You found her alive?
I did. Alive and well. Hiding with the charcoal burners.
So, she's not one of our victims?
She is. She just managed to escape the killer. She said she was attacked on her way home from the baths. She heard somebody talking in a side street, but it was empty. But when she walked by, someone grabbed her by the throat and started strangling her.
And how did she manage to get away?
She was holding an empty pitcher, and she smashed the killer in the face with it. He either got startled or hurt, but he let her go.
Did she get a look at him? Did she take his eye out or something?
No, she didn't stop to find out. Just ran. Which is probably why she survived.
And what about the blood in the bedroom?
She cut her hand on the broken pitcher. She didn't stay in her room for long. She was still so scared that she grabbed her things and ran off to her beloved charcoal burner. She said she returned from the baths in the evening regularly, and somebody knew exactly which way she would take and where to wait for her.
You mean someone followed her beforehand to figure out where to ambush her?
Who knew that she went to the baths?
Apparently everyone in the tavern. She didn't hide the fact. Well, according to Stanya, the murderer had a terribly strong grip. Her neck was bruised for almost a month.
Doesn't almost every man have a strong grip?
Depending on what they take in hand every day. A tankard, a quill, or a hammer.
Except none of our suspects are miners or blacksmiths, eh? According to Stanya, the murderer didn't say a word the entire time.
That's strange, right? I'd expect him to at least call her a whore.
The only word he uttered was when she smashed him in the face with the pitcher. He said Scheisse.
So, we're looking for a German?
Even I say Scheiße sometimes, and I'm not German.
Besides that, she also recalled hearing two voices in the alley. Someone was talking to the killer.
So we have a witness. Now, just to find him.
Or an accomplice. If I remember correctly, the other one must have seen the whole thing, right? And he didn't go to report it.
I asked Stanya if she knew Prokop. She said no.
Maybe she just doesn't remember him. Or he gave a different name, or...
I don't think Father Prokop is the type to frequent the worst tavern in Kuttenberg.
She also said she was sure it wasn't Mole. He may be a pig, but the evening she ran home, he was in bed snoring. Stanya admitted that she knows William. He flirted with her and tried to get to know her better, but nothing came of it.
And that's probably why I wanted to kill her. And likely rape her before that.
Well, perhaps, but Stanya doesn't think so. She's sure it wasn't William, and no matter what they say about him, in her eyes he's a good lad. And that's all that Stanya told me.
I'm so glad that girl is alive.
Me too. At least someone's had a little luck. Does she want to come back, or will she stay with the charcoal burners?
I don't think she'll come back. She's so scared now they'll come back for her, she doesn't even leave the house. I managed to find Zdena.
You found her? Is she alive too?
No. Unfortunately, she's dead.
And where did you find her?
Pretty far away. Near the mill she used to sell things at. Someone caught her in the forest when she was coming home with a load of coin and killed her. I reckon she put up a hell of a fight. So the killer got nervous and ended things quickly.
So he didn't strangle or mutilate her?
She'd been lying in the woods for a long time, so I couldn't really tell. But he definitely didn't hack her up like the others. Judging by what her accomplice said, she robbed someone good. She had so much jewellery on her, she could hardly carry it. And what's odd is when she was murdered, the killer left her basket of valuables behind.
So I reckon he didn't kill her for the money.
Father Prokop came looking for Zdena and nearly cursed her on the spot.
What did he have in common with a thief?
He had also looked after her, but unlike Yarka, she ended up on the street, and he took it badly. Zdena tried to rob young von Grolle. It's possible she succeeded.
Von Grolle? Yarka worked for them, didn't she?
Ah, that whole family is suspicious.
Assumptions. Nothing more.
I'd say it's pretty obvious. Why else would I have found that ring on her?
They just left the ring by her body. That's odd, isn't it?
It wasn't by her body. It was inside of it. I don't know if she swallowed it herself or someone shoved it in her.
Ah, that's awful. But I can't say it surprises me.
My mouth is starting to hurt from all this blabbering.
So are my ears and head.
Come now, we're nearly there. We just need to find our suspect. So, Henry, who do you think did it?
I suspect one of the von Grolles.
What leads you to think that?
Are you sure it wasn't William?
Yarka was their maidservant until she started rebelling, right?
Yes. Do you think she was rebelling because of someone in particular?
Perhaps the young lord?
That's possible.
Yarka was pregnant. And if the father was young von Grolle, it would make sense if he got rid of her.
Sakura, you're right.
But William could have fucked her too. Just saying.
Zdena robbed von Grolle.
That's true.
It's all coming together, isn't it?
Alice had a young and wealthy suitor. And young von Grolle fits both descriptions.
True, true.
We could be getting somewhere.
And that's all I can pin on him.
So, do we agree that it was young von Groll?
Well, old von Grolle can't do much now, can he?
So do we really agree that our most likely suspect is young von Grolle?
Aye. I agree.
I don't have a problem with it. Little rich boys are capable of anything. But what are we gonna do about it? Our suspicions aren't enough.
They'll just laugh at us without something more tangible.
So, you want to search their house?
There's nothing else we can do. There must be a clever way to do it.
We have to find some evidence. None of our conjecture is enough. What will we do?
You could sneak in there.
Or break in.
Catherine, that's not necessary. The young lad wants to learn swordsmanship, and the old one is sick and always calling for a physician.
So I can either pretend to be a sawbones or a swordsman, or break in? That's a lot of options.
You're a clever lad. You'll figure it out.